What up? This is Rama Screen at the LA Film Festival with, and then there was Eve star Rachel. How you doing?
Good, I'm really good.
Good, good, good. So you play Eve in this
I
film?
play
Yeah.
Eve, yes, I do.
Well, when I first heard the title, okay, who's the Atom? That's what the first thought that crossed my mind. But
No Adams in this one. No Adams in this one.
so it's a love story that evolves from like a thriller searching for a missing person into this friendship that shifts into something else. That can you explain about as an actress approaching that?
Well, my character sort of holds all the cards in one way. She knows what's going on in a way that Alyssa, my other main lead, she doesn't know. So from an acting standpoint, it was really interesting to sort of play things knowing that you're not going to say exactly what's going on, right? So you're beating around the bush or you're hinting at things, but you're not actually sort of communicating with you like this is what's going on.
Holding the cards.
Holding the cards, yeah, but with the sense of like she has to make this journey kind of on her own. Alyssa does, and so my job, as it were, is to sort of make sure she doesn't go off the rails, and that we kind of keep her on the track so that she can discover the truth organically.
We'll get back to that. I want to ask you about the process of being helmed by a female director like Savannah.
Oh my God, no, it was so awesome. One, gender doesn't, I mean, she's a very, very good director. She's really good with actors. One of the great things was how much she knew what the story was going to be. And so if we went off on a tangent or a different direction, she'd be like, no, I need you to go down that road. I need you to go down that road. And that's always great because, ultimately you're a cog in the machine, right? You do your part as best as you can, and you trust that everybody else knows what they're doing, especially the director. And Savannah was amazing and awesome to work with. We had probably 70% female crew. So the producers are female, the writers are female, the director, all of camera was female. And these are all kind of amazing things in and of themselves. But for the story that we were telling, it was really, really nice to have all of that female energy around. It made some things easier to do. There was just a kind of innate level of trust, which is not like a knock on dudes. But
No offense.
but it did make for a kind of set that was a little bit more people looking out for each other. It was a real labor of love, low budget. And everybody sort of believed in the core of the film. And that's like such a beautiful way to make a movie.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is your first film, right?
This is my first film.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're from a music background, correct?
I am a musician and a photographer, but in a previous life I was an off-Broadway actor for a very, very long time. And then I retired for any number of reasons. And I really thought I was out. And this script showed up a month before they started shooting. My wife had consulted on the script, and Savannah had emailed going, "Are you sure Rachel won't audition?" And I was like, "Ugh, okay." And I was really unhappy in my job, so I thought, "Okay, screw it, I'll audition." 5 days later, I had the role. 2 days later, a plane ticket to LA. 3 weeks later, they're yelling action.
Congratulations.
Which was pretty amazing. It was actually a really wonderful way to get back into acting.
Yeah. And if I may, what do you think about the jazz music that's incorporated in this film?
Love the jazz
You come from that
music.
background, yeah.
Yes, as the Eve is a jazz pianist,
Yeah.
and so I play a couple of pieces in the film.
Very well.
I mean, I don't actually play them. I'm kind of whatever the piano version of lip syncing is, but I did teach myself the pieces because I thought it was really important. I mean, it always drives me nuts in films where you see the hands and then you cut to the face. And then you see the hands, and then you cut to the face. I wanted to make sure that they could do shots where they could see my hand, and the camera could travel up my arm connected to my face. That to give that sense that Eve is actually playing these songs. And the guitar piece in the film, I wrote that guitar riff when I was 17 years old.
Wow.
I was playing around with blues structures, and I thought I'm going to play with seventh chords the whole way through, and it's been this thing I play forever. And in the film there's this scene 63 exterior, they busk, and that was it. And when we did our week of rehearsals, Savannah was like, "So, Rachel, why don't you write something?" And I was like, "Well, I have this thing." And so I taught Tanya the blues. I taught her how to sing the blues. I taught her how to write the blues. I told her that the blues was like a poor man's version of jazz in the way that you can play around in it. It has a form and more structure than jazz usually does. But there are very rarely wrong notes in the blues. And so I tried to do everything I could to make her comfortable for the singing part of it.
Now that you're back, are you gonna stick around in acting in
I
film?
am. I live here now. I am currently looking for an agent, but I already have auditioned for a number of different things. I have something on the horizon that, cross my fingers, would be pretty big.
Good. Now, my last question would be: what do you hope the audience would take away from this story, from this film?
That relationships are incredibly complicated, and that sometimes you can be thrown a massive curveball, or to use a better metaphor, sometimes in a relationship, if you think of it like games of poker, every year is a new game of poker in your relationship. Sometimes you get dealt a really weird hand. But the way to get through it is to play the hand that you have, right?
Yes.
And see what happens. And don't just go, "Oh, we're screwed." Be like, "No, let's play this out and see what happens." And I think some of the most successful relationships in the world are when both sides agree to try to figure out, what's the way out of this weird thing that's happened to us. And so I think, and then there was Eve, sort of gives the sense to people that love is love. And just because somebody might change drastically, that person's still there. The relationship can still be there. And B, that sometimes it's going to be rough, and how you ride out that roughness is almost as important as where you arrive.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Congratulations, Rachel.